What's up, ladies? My name is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0, and today we're going to be talking about how to stop comparing yourself to other women. The reason why I came up with this subject is because one, this is an issue that I've noticed women have. For example, I'm from New York City, right? And whenever I date girls and they're new to the city, a lot of them would say something very common that they didn't know how they don't feel as beautiful when they're in the city compared to when they're back to their small towns, right? And that's because back in their towns, women, they will compare themselves, right? And they'll notice that they're like one of the few beautiful women in their small town, right? But then it's kind of like a small fish in a big bowl, something like that. When they go to the city, they see an influx of beautiful women, right? Suddenly they don't feel different. They don't feel special. They don't have that one thing that made them feel like who they are. That's because a lot of women and people in general, right, but women more, they derive their sense of self relative to how beautiful they are relative to other people. You see, like the reason why we compare ourselves to other people is because we're trying to find a reason why we are better than them, in order to feel better, in order to find a sense of self. You see what I'm saying? The reason why is because through our normal waking hours, we walk in a trance of unworthiness. We feel that we are not worthy of things. You may say to yourself, that doesn't happen to me. Well, let's find out. The feeling of unworthiness doesn't arise with an announcement that says, hey, I am the feeling of unworthiness. No, the feeling of unworthiness manifests itself indirectly. For example, wanting to be admired. Notice how much you want to be admired by others. Notice yourself comparing yourself to other people. Compare yourself to other women. Always finding what you have and comparing it to other people. All right. The issue with that is that you can have a little boy and he's playing happily with his little toy, right? And then suddenly, a kid comes out of nowhere with a bigger toy. Suddenly, he was having fun in the past, but now because he saw a bigger toy, what happened? He wants that bigger toy. There's a lack of appreciation on the kid's part. The human conditioning, the mind itself, the mind always wants more. It needs more. When you're bored, what does your mind want? It wants content. It wants information. It wants to be fed. Okay, so that part of you, the ego, which is what we call the ego, always needs confirmation. It's always hungry. It doesn't feel happy when it's fulfilled. It feels happy when it wants. You see, that's why you can have something, but as soon as you have it, you want more. That's a normal human condition, to want more. And the normal human mistake is thinking that satisfying that need makes you happy. It's a cycle. Okay, it's a cycle. The same thing with comparing yourself to other women. It's a cycle. You're really trying to find happiness. You just don't know it. You're just using the wrong path. I'm not gonna say the wrong path, but the path that hasn't led anyone to true happiness. Comparing, because you will inevitably get old. That's the truth. You will inevitably get old. Everyone's gonna get old. That's why women who think they're better than everyone else, and women who don't think they're better than and women who see themselves lower and below the average person, they're on the same boat. They're both manifesting the same thing, the trance of unworthiness. Okay? That's the same highs and the same lows come from the same source. And this whole comparing yourself to other women is all in an attempt to separate yourself. It's all in an attempt to see yourself as the individual who you think you are in your mind. All right. And the issue is that the more we separate ourselves, okay, the harder we try to separate ourselves, the more vulnerable we are. Why? Because the hotter you try to look, the better looking you try to look, okay, the easier it is to put you down, because all you need is somebody criticizing you. And it's just like a house doesn't have a strong foundation, you'll easily get offended. You're easy to get to, okay? And that's the problem. You become your self-esteem, your confidence. It's not real confidence. It's fictitious. It's illusory. It's ephemeral in nature. You see, so we walk around with that trance of unworthiness, and we're trying to heal it through the same things that's causing that problem. Okay, that's the issue. Is that we keep coming back to the same source that's causing our unhappiness. You see, so because of that same reason, also, you can never relax, because you think you're not enough. So you always have to put on the show. You see, you always have to take that photo Look, have that nice little bitch face on. You know what I'm talking about? The resting bitch face. Make sure you look good looking. Make sure you get those Instagram likes. Make sure you get those Facebook likes. You see, you're trying to sustain that image that you're portraying out there. Right? And the harder you try, the more pain you're actually experiencing inside. And so we begin to get into this cycle of looking for ourselves in other things. And that's why women compare themselves to other women. Okay? Because that comparison is a manifestation of low self-esteem. So what do? You first have to wake up from that trance, from the trance of unworthiness. Okay? Because in order to control your life, you first have to see the illusion that's around you. For example, have you ever lucid dreamed in your life? You know what lucid dreaming is? Lucid dreaming is when you dream and you think you're not dreaming, okay? But then suddenly you notice that you're dreaming, and suddenly you can control your environment. You can only know that you can only control the dream once you realize the illusion that you're in a dream. It's kind of like the Matrix. You see, there's no spoon. Because there's no spoon, that means you can control the spoon. So the same thing is that once you see the illusion, which is to say, in our case, once you see the illusion, is that the reason why you compare yourself is not because you're not better looking than the next girl. It's because it's a manifestation of your lack of self-esteem. Once you see that, now you're able to go to the source. Because in the past, you were looking outside, looking for yourself. Now we want to go inward. All right. And the problem is that when you go inward, there's a lot of pain inside, because that pain you were trying to push away. But the key to this is to run towards the pain. What you're going to be doing is just observing the emotion. Go into it. If you see yourself comparing yourself to another woman, listen to the thoughts. Oh, she's not that hot. But then go into the emotion. Ask yourself, I wonder what's going on inside of me at this moment. And once you ask yourself what's going on inside of you at this moment, observe. Simply observe what's going on inside of you. And you're going to notice that those thoughts originate from an emotion that you're not comfortable with and that you're trying to suppress. And what I want you to do is not to condemn it, but to just observe it. So now the next time you compare yourself to another woman, another girl, you see the girl. Now in the past, you used to see the girl, feel the feeling of unworthiness, and then think and then compare yourself. But now you see the girl, observe the emotion, and then you act. When in the past you saw the girl, you reacted immediately. You felt unworthy. You thought yourself, oh, she's this, she's that, and you tried to make yourself feel better to compare yourself. But now we're standing back and we're not doing anything. We're not gonna do nothing to feel better. We're not gonna do nothing to enhance ourselves. We're just going to observe the emotion. What's gonna happen is that, just like anything in life, your body becomes accustomed to it. And it's not going to become accustomed to it from the perspective of you get used to being shitty. No, it gets accustomed to it from the perspective of it flushes it out. Because your attention, the attention that you can be placed on those emotions, is what heals it. When in the past, you were just pushing it away. My philosophy in life is that if I'm not getting the results that I want, I'm doing the opposite. So run towards the pain, observe the emotion, and what you're going to notice is that there you are, observing the emotion, and there's the emotion. Who are you? Are you the emotion itself, or are you the observer who's observing the emotion? Try it out yourself right now. Ask yourself, I wonder what's going on inside of me at this moment, and just observe what's going on right now. Go ahead, give it a try. And just bring attention. Just become curious as to what's going on inside of you right now. Don't think, just observe. Ask yourself, what's going on inside of me, and notice. Notice the emotion. Notice where the emotion is. Notice how heavy that emotion is. Notice the location. Okay? Notice how that feels. Notice how it affects your whole body. Notice the energy. Is it an energy? How intense is that energy? Just observe. So in order to liberate yourself from that pain, because mind you, it's the pain that's causing the behavior, not the behavior itself, not even the thought itself. So in order to liberate yourself from that pain, you have to do the opposite and observe the pain and run towards the pain. You literally what you wouldn't do in the past, which is bringing total awareness to that pain. Now you may say to yourself, oh, I'm a confident girl. Um, um, I'm a very confident person. I have a lot of self-assurance. That's fine, okay? But let me ask you this: how badly do you want to be admired? How badly do you want guys to look at you and to see how hot you are? How badly do you want other people's admiration? That's a reflection of your self-esteem, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we have to see the illusion, because if we don't see the illusion, then in reality that what we're manifesting now is not self-esteem, but in reality is insecurity. Like just like in a dream, then we're able to take control of it and mold it to how we wanna become. Okay, so in order to be free, we must fully accept ourselves. In order to be free, you have to fully accept yourself. This is not something that you can fix. This is not something that you just go inside and quick and fix. No, you only can fix it, and you only can fix it through bringing full awareness, which is the total opposite of what most people do. So how do you bring total awareness? Simple. One, you see it. You observe the emotion. I wonder what's going on inside of me. And second, have compassion. You observe the emotion, and just like when you watch a kid trying to learn, and you have compassion for that kid, have compassion for yourself. Okay, so you notice yourself feeling unworthy and having low self-esteem, have compassion for yourself. Because when you have compassion for yourself, you cannot judge yourself. You see what I'm saying? So you notice yourself feeling depressed? Oh, my body feels depressed. And have compassion, love it. Okay, your body cannot, it's just reacting. But you are the awareness. So you have to have compassion for it. And you can only have compassion through bringing awareness. And you can only judge it through trying to suppress it. You see what I'm saying? You notice the indirect way that we judge ourselves. Also, suppression is another form of judgment. Okay, so, and also bringing compassion helps us get through the pain, So when we have compassion for people and we love someone, we're able to bear a lot of pain just simply because we love them. So you'll be able to bear the pain of the feeling of unworthiness that you're trying to hide through comparing yourself to other women. You can easily withstand it through having compassion for your own self. You see? So once you allow yourself to have compassion, once you observe the emotion and have compassion for yourself, what's going to happen is that part of yourself that was trying to fight it becomes defeated. The ego, the one that's trying to act cool becomes defeated because it's facing reality. Okay? And once you do that, that's when you hit rock bottom. And that's when you actually fully let go and surrender. And once you fully let go and surrender, that's when you're free. You see, that's where the comparison and the judgments completely stop. Okay. Remember, happiness is a function of expectation. And you can and comparing yourself to other women will only change how you view yourself, and will only make you feel shittier. You may feel better for the moment if you're better looking than the next girl, but inevitably it's gonna bite you in the ass. Okay, so yeah, this is how it's done. This is how I teach guys. Okay, and this is how it has helped me in order to stop comparing myself to other people. All right, so with that being said, this is Alex from mindforattraction.org. If you haven't subscribe. Okay, because this is just the beginning. All right, I'm here for the long run. Subscribe. Let me know what subjects you guys want me to cover next, and I'll cover it in the next video. Take care.